Hello and welcome to today's Bible portion. Today we'll be reading Genesis 15 and 16. Genesis chapter 15. After these things, the word of Adonai came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield, and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Adonai Eloheinu, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of Adonai came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad, and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. And he said unto him, And he believed in Adonai, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am Adonai, that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give thee land to inherit it. And he said, Adonai Eloheinu, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, Take me an heifer of 3 years old, and a goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. And he took unto him all pieces, and divided it in the midst, and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. And when the fowl came down upon the carcass, Abram drove him away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a security that thy seed shall be a stranger in this land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the 4th generation they shall come hither again. For the iniquities of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass, that when the sun went down, and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. And in the same day Adonai made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates, the Canaanites, the Kenizzites, and the Cadmonites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Rephaims, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. Genesis chapter 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid of Egypt, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, Adonai hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. Adonai judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand, to do with her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. And when the angels of Adonai found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur, and he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of Adonai came unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And when the angel of Adonai said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for the multitude. And the angel of Adonai said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because Adonai hath heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. She called the name of Adonai that spoke unto her, Thou, Adonai, seest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore, the well was called Beer Lahoyer, or Beer Laheroi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram's son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. Well, until next time, I hope you guys have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow.